Hello, as promised, we're back out here in the cornfield. If you can tell, the corn is a lot taller than it was earlier when I was out here hoeing the weeds with my cousin Dane. But I'm excited to talk a little bit about this chore detasseling corn because, as I said earlier, that this is the one chore where I utilize all of the other core competencies that we talked about to get recognized for a leadership role, in which I became a crew leader and where I actually oversaw and managed detasselers. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to explain a little bit about the corn stalk here. This is called a tassel, and this is actually what we would pull off called detasseling. The flower up here is actually considered the male portion of the plant. And what that does, pull off a corn here, what that does is that the pollination process is the wind blows the pollen off the tassel and it lands on the corn silk. And what the corn silk does, and I'm not an expert at the pollination process, there's a lot of people out there smarter than I do. I just remembered how to tassel the stuff. You talk to an experienced farmer, they could probably explain it a lot better than me. But that pollination process then produces the actual corn. This is actually a field corn. Not sweet corn, so you don't really you don't want to eat this. But that's kind of like the pollination process. And this portion, the silk, is actually considered the female portion of the plant. So I'm going to set this down here real quick. And so that's, again, a little bit about the corn plant. Now, the reason why they produce this, what they're trying to do is produce a hybrid seed. So typically there will be like 4 rows of corn. It's kind of hard to see because this corn's so high, but there'll be 4 rows of corn that are designated as female corn. So you pull the tassels off of those 4 rows. And then the other row, the 5th row, they will plant with a different type of seed and they'll leave the tassel on, and that's designated as the male row corn. So you would walk up and down and pull all the tassels off of the female corn. So then when the wind would blow, it would blow the pollen off the male tassels onto the other corn stalks, onto the silk, and then produce a hybrid seed. And on the screen right now are some reasons why you would produce a hybrid seed. But so I apologize if that's too TMI or too much information, but I just want to explain a little bit about, why you actually detassel corn. But now I have a great guest here. I'm going to invite my sister over, and because she actually detasseled corn with me, I'm going to have her explain what it's like to actually walk up and down these corn rows detasseling corn. So Cindy, come on over. How you doing?
Great. How are you?
Wonderful. So, we both detasseled corn back in the early 80s. But can you tell us a little bit about walking up and down these corn rows? What was it like detasseling corn?
Detasseling corn wasn't really difficult, but the working conditions could make it more challenging. So if the irrigation system was working or if it was raining, it'd make your boots heavy and it'd be more difficult to walk. The heat could make a huge impact on the weather. If it was really hot, it was harder to work or you needed more water to drink.
What about those bugs? I got some bugs flying around me right now.
And that was the next thing I was going to say. It could get itchy. It could get itchy because of the bugs, and actually because of the corn itself could be scratchy.
Yeah.
But it just depending on the working conditions. But like I said, it wasn't like a difficult. It was just tedious, repetitious work. And it depended on your crew you were on too, because you had to make sure everyone was paying attention to detail, or you might have to go back and walk that row again, which none of us really wanted to do.
Yeah, we all kind of tried to stay in a line. So if someone would fall back, we get frustrated because we have to wait for that other individual to come up. But we took initiative and walked back and helped him or her catch up. We all tried to stay within a line, and a crew leader would follow behind us. What actually did a crew leader do? Do you remember?
The crew leader would follow behind us to make sure that everyone is okay and to make sure that we didn't miss any, because our goal was to get 100%. We didn't want to miss any behind because that could interfere with the pollination process if we missed some.
Right, absolutely. I believe you could only miss 1 tassel out of 1,000 corn stalks, or it'll ruin a whole entire acre. You can go online and check my facts on that, but that's, like I said, it was back in the 80s, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But in order to get to the cornfield, though, can you tell them about that? What did we do? Do you remember?
Yes. We had to get up very early in the morning. And if you're a young kid, like getting ready for junior high or high school, getting up early is not your favorite thing to do.
No, not at all.
We would get up early in the morning and we would go to the school in Montpelier and ride a school bus all the way there. And then they would bring us back to the school when we were done with our job. And our mom or dad would come pick us up after the long day.
Now, part of this chore that I'm talking about is getting recognized for leadership opportunities. And all the chores that we've talked about so far kind of set us up. I was actually promoted into crew leader, and you actually filled in as a crew leader before. When we were out to detasseling corn, in which we were overseeing and making sure people weren't missing anything. So overall, the whole experience about detasseling corn, what did you learn from it that really helped you demonstrate your ambition to lead?
One thing that I learned is that you need to pay attention to detail and do the job right the first time, or it creates rework. Personally, I would have rather walked the fields and not been a crew leader because I want to be accountable for myself and not others. Because when you're a crew leader, you're accountable for everybody. But for me, but I'd step in and lead when I needed to, because I'm one of those people that if you need extra help I would step in and do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm one of those people that want to walk behind and be a crew leader, and that's what I was so happy to do. But Cindy, I just wanted to say thank you very much for coming out here. Looks like we might get actually rained on today, so we're going to go ahead and wrap this up.
Can I add one more thing?
Oh yeah, sure.
One thing that I did learn about detasseling corn growing up at a young age is no matter what you do, take pride in what you do and do it right the first time, so you don't have to keep doing rework or expect others to pick up your slack.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you very much. All right, we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.